LOP in the building. My life been a movie, I should've filmed it. Nicely with the pen game. Pops taught me the spit game. Get your cameras ready, we heavy catch when I'm in frame. Product, opinionated, but I'm coming through smooth with it. I be kicking back, you could Google it. Run a block to the booth, hear the truth, just another lane lock. I'm a Crown Heights legend, still repping the same block.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk podcast.
Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Produk. You're now locked into the Life of Produk podcast. This is episode 37. I took a couple of weeks off, but I could fucking do that. Sorry about that. But I have a very special guest today. I have Alex Dummit from Winston Salem, North Carolina. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Listen, you know what? This is actually my fault because we were supposed to do this a while back.
That's all right. That's okay. No time like the present.
Absolutely. You know what? I think it's special to have you here because I've actually had a lot of female business owners reach out to me that want to come to the show, and you're actually the second one. Yeah, you're the second one. So thank you.
Absolutely.
This is what's up.
I'm happy to be here.
Give everybody like a rundown. What do you actually do?
So, I call myself a serial entrepreneur.
Like a serial killer?
Yeah,
Okay.
except for I probably take more lives, but no, I have been a young entrepreneur for my entire life. So, since I was 18, I've been dabbling in small businesses. I opened my first at 23, and that's been varying, about 15, 16 businesses now that I've opened. And right now I'm running a construction company and a hemp lifestyle brand.
That's dope. What's the whole hemp vibes like? 'Cause everybody's trying to do that right now.
Everyone is trying to do it. Some more successfully than others. And I think that there's an interesting climate right now. It's very Wild West. If you're on the East Coast, especially, the Colorados and the Californias of the world and have really, already gotten in pretty deep. They have crazy regulations. You have, they've kind of cut their teeth with the regulations there. So I think we're going into a little bit more chaotic of an environment, but also we have the knowledge that those people have already gotten and able to use that. We flew out to Colorado not too long ago to see
I think I remember. Yeah.
So just seeing what was on the market, seeing what, hopefully marijuana is coming down the pipeline relatively
I think it
soon.
is.
And, our hope is that as we get into marijuana and those sort of things, that we can really help people. My heart always lies in opportunity and also in just how we can give back. And I was someone that struggled and trying to cut my way. And I think a lot of people that may not be traditional entrepreneurs will really be able to succeed in this.
You know what? I feel like this is the renaissance of it right now.
Absolutely.
I feel like we're at that renaissance point, but I feel like the government is somehow going to fuck it up eventually because they kind of fuck up everything. They're fucking up cryptocurrency right now.
Yeah,
And
they do.
yeah.
They're going to, and I think, that's kind of the hope with it being the Wild West. Realistically, the next 4 years, good luck trying to catch people. Good luck trying to really regulate while you don't have laws. Now, people better cut their teeth and do it quickly in that 4 years or so that you have coming down. But I think after that, the government will step in. They'll have bureaucracy, a bunch of taxes, and make sure it's nice and difficult for anyone except for big boys to compete or succeed. So you better establish yourself as a big boy pretty soon.
So on the legal side, if a person wants to get into the hemp business, right? On the legal side, I'm pretty sure there's like permits and regulations. How hard is it to get registered to do that?
So it depends on what state and everything else. Of course, federally it's pretty difficult. But if you're in North Carolina, they have a pilot program, and honestly, my business partners really handle that part of it. But my understanding is it's pretty lax, and I think that that's a good thing. It allows young entrepreneurs to figure out what they're doing, how they regulate, and it also gives the government some time to to figure out what they're doing as well. I know that my friends that are growing hemp feel at first we were like, oh my God, everything I grow is going to be highly inspected. No, now they just kind of take a picture, send it in. Someone sometimes shows up. But the truth is the government doesn't have the capacity to regulate something as unimportant as hemp. The truth is go regulate the meth labs, go regulate the pedophiles and leave us alone.
Yes. I'm glad you said that because I feel like the higher ups, the suits, the pin pushers, they focus on the wrong shit. There's I don't understand how in certain cities and states people have gotten 20 years for weed, but pedophiles get 6 months in the registry. I got a problem with that.
I would also ask you what race those people are.
You know what? I didn't want to say it. But keep it real. Like,
I mean, that's the truth. I work a lot with second chance felons. And I find that, sometimes people that work for me will get max sentences on first offenses, and, they'll easily serve a dime, which is 10 years. And,
Crazy.
They won't think twice about it. Simultaneously, I had someone who I know that got charged with murder 1, and his daddy's a dentist. And guess what? He
got off?
He didn't get off. He only served 7 years. And then I got phone calls complaining about why he was in jail that long.
Wow.
And he was on probation while he was doing that, and all kinds of stuff, and just not being realistic of what consequences are.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
It must be fucking nice.
Yeah. And I remember him calling me from prison complaining that he had to spend that much time in prison after he took a life. So it's interesting, the level of entitlement and the boys will be boys mentality that goes on.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wonder if Canada's like that. Because, we're both the Americas, but we're like, I think when it comes to like Canada and United States, even though like they consider both America, we're like the ghetto cousin of this shit.
Yeah,
you know
we're
the ratchet ones.
We're the gross ones for sure.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think they do that type of shit up there. Like I just got a feeling, because every Canadian I've ever met was very laid back and like shocking to the shit that we do here.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think I saw some meme during quarantine. It's like, or when actually, Trump specifically was in quarantine, and I remember like referring to Canada as like the upstairs neighbor to a meth lab that exploded.
Wow.
And that's basically, I imagine, how they feel. I think every country has its stuff now, but unfortunately, I think we've let some things get away from us quite a bit.
Absolutely. You know what? America has multiple sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have this side, that side, but every side has its bullshit. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I would kind of like, I want to experience the bullshit on the other side. Because where I come from is like, fuck it. It's like a high level of it. And it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing on so many levels. And I think that a lot of people who have never had, some people are very blessed to not have ever seen shit like that. But you have people that had no choice in seeing it. And we kind of look at life a lot differently from a lot of other people. But so not to dwell on that, I want to ask you a question. I don't like asking people what political party they're a part of. But I want to ask you, are you a political person or a people person? Because I get like the people vibe from you, like you care about people.
Where I stand, and I mean, I'll just tell you, like, I know enough to know that both sides are kind of lunatics.
Yes.
And I kind of stand by that. I think you have to be somewhat political to make impact for people. So I deal with a lot of city council and things like that on a small local level. But I have these hilarious rules for myself with like politics. Like, I will only watch news within a 30-mile radius. Just because I know that I can affect change in that area. Whereas like, as much as I'd love to say I'm going to Syria tomorrow, I'm not.
Yeah.
And, there's immediate problems here. And I try to get involved with what I can and have a hand in what I believe the right thing is. And that varies from political parties a lot.
But that's a good attitude to have. I feel like with me, I had to step away from watching the news.
Oh yeah.
For like the last 4 or 5 years after like Trump got in office, particularly when he got in office, because I felt like it was affecting me mentally. Oh, yeah. And the people around me, it was affecting a lot of people mentally and emotionally. And I was just like, I got real shit going on. I don't have time for that. Because if you become so engulfed in it, and you just get to a point where like if I know a person personally, I don't want to look at them different because they support certain stuff. But then there's times I have, and I felt like it was like a double-sided coin. It was like, okay, but I personally know this person. This person's always been good to me. But it's like, damn, can I fuck with you on that level? And I felt like I personally had to fall back from CNN, from Fox News, all of it. And half of it is lies anyway that we're being told.
1,000%. And I jokingly, I have this whole thing where I refer to my family is wildly pretentious on one side of it. And so I like to upset them. And I kept going to really, really inappropriately fancy dinners and referring to Facebook news as the news. And I was like, yeah, Granddad, did you see on the news today, Kim Kardashian, I mean, she really let it all hang out. And my brother's like, stop calling Facebook the news.
That's funny.
Stop calling
That's
Facebook
funny.
the news. But the truth is, it's just as real as anything else. It's people's perception. And, you know, as far as, I don't know. I mean, the truth is, I see friends post ridiculous stuff. I had someone, you know, posting some crazy stuff the other day. And the truth is, like, I decided I'm not going to do business with that person anymore. And I would like to say that I absolutely stand by that. And there are certain deal breakers for me. And that's, you know, that's the time we live in. And if you are going to be a bigot or whatever else, I'm going to have problems with it.
Because at the end of the day, your morality factor has to be at a certain level. You have to look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. So if you're not comfortable with some shit, like if you're doing business with this person and you're not fully comfortable, how can you fully do business with them at the capacity you was doing that before? You're gonna be shooken up every time you approach this person when you speak to them. And I actually have been on that way for a while. Like I've known people who have done, I can't say it on camera, but they've done wild shit. And I just had to say, you know what, I can't fuck with you like that. I mean, like things on levels you would be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So it's I can't, I like my morality factor at the end of the day. Since I've gotten older, like I've always had like a high morale, but since I've gotten older, that shit's kind of went through the roof, and I have to protect my energy, all the fucking way. Because if I allow those people like into my life, into my circle, I feel like that energy is gonna roll over into the way I carry myself.
Absolutely,
and I can't do that.
Absolutely,
Not at
and
all.
there's a lot of people that the truth is, I don't want to give my money to them. I don't want to, I'm sorry. I don't want to pay for your kid to go out and spread poison or whatever, or, and that's where someone asked me not too long ago, they're like, Alex, I think I was referencing Chick-fil-A and how I just like, will not return. My daughter's gay and I love it. And, all those things. And
didn't the owner have like a problem with like gay people and homosexuality?
He was funding a group in Africa that was murdering homosexuals. And so, yeah.
I didn't know it was that serious.
Oh, yeah. And so, I was like, whatever, I'll get my chicken minis elsewhere. I'll make them or whatever else, it's just not worth it. And someone asked me in that conversation, he's like, Alex, a lot of these big movie producers and things like that have come out as human trafficking and things like that. And do you think that they should go down in history and still make, make their royalties and everything else because they still were accomplished great minds of their time? And I said, absolutely not.
I agree.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry, but I think that if they hadn't placated to someone like that, there was other equally as intelligent, creative people that probably just didn't have the same opportunities or weren't in the right space at the right time. And those people deserve recognition, not the people that have squandered it with their own gluttony and perversions. So
speaking of human trafficking, I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube, and it's like every time I do it, it was like I'll call you and I'll tell you every fucking thing I did, right? Like watching it and shit. But it's like every time I go down a rabbit hole on YouTube, halfway through it, I'm like, damn, why the fuck did I do this at 2:00 in the morning? Now I'm up watching all these videos. But I don't think a lot of people fully understand how bad human trafficking is. The shit is it's bad. Like I don't know, I can't sit here and break down the numbers and the percentages of where it's at, but it's some shit that really needs to get addressed. And I feel like we worry about the wrong stuff as a whole. Like I was talking to my boy the other day and I was like, why the fuck do we even have a United Nations? Why do we have a UN? It's like a whole mafia meeting for nothing. If we can have human trafficking spanning from Colombia all the way to Europe, what are y'all doing about that?
Right.
Why are the numbers still so high? So going down the rabbit hole, watching documentaries like Eyes of Shadows, I think it was called Eyes of Shadows and shit like that, you walk away looking at life different. You walk away looking at life different. And the crazy thing about human trafficking, it's not just little girls, it's little boys as well, spanning from newborns to like 16, 17 years old. And these kids, I've watched videos of the kids that were rescued, they're never the same. Never the same after it.
I met one actually. I was when I was starting out my career, I was in my early 20s and I had just come back from an event and walked into the restaurant and this woman walked up to me. She's like, "You look like you're in charge," and she handed me this note, and I didn't know what was going on. And she's like, "Will you make sure that our waitress sees this?" And I was like, and it was attached to a $100 bill. And I was like, sure, whatever. And then it was a comment card that we had left in our restaurant.
Yeah.
And on the back of it, she explains how her daughter had been kidnapped from Greensboro.
Oh my God.
And she had just picked her up in Washington, D.C. from the airport where they had caught the
Wow.
guy. But the first time her daughter had smiled again was in that restaurant.
That's great.
And so, but it was close to home. It was in her restaurants. It was a girl in the neighborhood. It was, you never know. And
You never know.
it was really eye-opening that could happen so close to home, and it's tied to so many things. That's why they need to get out of the hemp fields and go deal with something that matters,
Absolutely. I worked for a really big company for years. And I don't want to say the name of the company, but they gave us training on like how to spot human trafficking. There's like so many ways to spot it. So one day I seen a man getting arrested. So I'm like, what is going on? So I saw one of the coworkers we were working with at the end of the shift, and I said, yo, why were they arresting that dude? And she told me because there was basically a kid there, and from what we were trained for human trafficking, she recognized it, spoke to the kid. He human trafficked the kid from another country. And watching the cops arrest him in the beginning, we were like, oh, cops always fucking with people. But then we understood why the man was being arrested. And this is like arresting people for weed is bullshit. There are much more important things. And to me, human trafficking is really up there on the list within like the top 5 of shit they need to focus on right now.
Government priorities are wild. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I like to look at.
Don't indict yourself.
Oh, I don't
incriminate
care.
yourself.
Oh, I'm guilty. I'm sure of everything that I'm about to.
Yeah.
Well, I like to look at the statistics for the city when I go into these meetings and try to see what the priorities are. Try to wade through the bureaucracy, and I was looking at the priorities for the city of Winston Salem, and for their budget, and it was like, this is about where it was. It was like racial equality somewhere in like 11, 12, 13. But bike lanes were number 6.
Wow. Bike lanes.
Wow. And so,
I fucking hate bike lanes. Anyway,
I don't even want to talk about Louisville and the bikers because that will get me all hot and bothered. But, it's just the priorities. And the truth is they placate to the money.
That's crazy.
They placate to the money, and there's some wealthy guy who really likes his bikes.
I believe it. I think they're starting to put bike lanes out here. I know they're putting sidewalks out here. And the first time I came out here was 98, then I went back in 2007. And the fact that they're putting sidewalks now, I'm like, oh shit, but they could have spent money on more important stuff than sidewalks. Because y'all didn't need them before. What the fuck? I think it's called City Walk or something like they have. I'm not walking that shit. I'm not doing it. I did enough walking in Brooklyn. I don't do that. I walk on a treadmill. So you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's weird, man. It's really weird. Sidewalks. And I'm pretty sure, like how you said that the number 6 was bike lanes, I'm pretty sure sidewalks had to be in the top 3.
Oh yeah.
Fucking sidewalks of all things. But that's another story. And another, you know what else I'm still pissed off about? That $5 ticket I got that day because I was parked out here for more than, it was like 3 hours and 5 minutes. They need fucking meters out here. They're like dead ass. Like I got a $5 ticket because of the 3 hour parking out here. So what happened? Okay, what happened was I did move my car from the spot I was in to another spot. So I go to the police department. I'm like, why did you give me a ticket? She says, because you didn't move it around the corner. This is what she told me. It was bullshit. So I was like, basically, you want me to make a fucking L shape to avoid a $5 ticket. But you know what? I paid the $5. I just did it. You know what I mean?
I think I'm a criminal in several states over parking tickets, but I can catch me if they can.
Yeah. Parking tickets. Bullshit. I spent too many mornings living in Brooklyn, waking up with like 5 minutes left to circle the fucking block. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with that. I am not about that life no more. I swear I'm not.
We're in the burbs,
Yeah, but I'm glad we are in the burbs. So let me ask you. So you were raised in Winston-Salem, right?
Yeah. So I was born in Winston and born and raised there, and it was it's definitely grown up a lot.
What was the vibes like growing up in Winston-Salem? Like childhood wise, like friends and just like what did you guys do for fun and things like that?
So I grew up on I had a pretty privileged childhood, and but my father also is a criminal defense attorney, so we had a building downtown. So when I was growing up, we grew up on the farm, did a lot of running around out there. But my mom was one of downtown Winston's urban pioneers, and that was a term used by the Haynes family, and they were trying to stimulate artists and innovation down in downtown Winston. And it started all on 6th Street. So it was a really cool time. Watched my parents, struggling young entrepreneurs, fighting all the time, struggling with money, all that sort of stuff. But
it's definitely going to happen.
but it was cool, and it was eclectic, and lots of weirdos, and it was very different. Downtown Winston has definitely evolved, especially the Trade Street area, and now it's the city of art and innovation. And I just remember a woman named Millicent being out there on the sidewalk with her big old, sunning thing in her crop top in the 90s,
That's
painting
crazy.
murals. And
that's dope, man.
Yeah,
that's really dope. And that's great that you have those memories because you've seen it, what it was as opposed to what it is now. And a lot of people, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that were raised there, they don't even like grasp that. They probably just like, oh, it's nice. You know what I mean? But the fact that it grew from that to that in a city like Winston-Salem, which is right next to Greensboro, which is a bigger city, I think that's some dope shit.
And I think, the way, I think Winston's done a lot right. And it's definitely, it's got some stagnant wealth and stagnant ideas at this point. But I do think, anytime you, and this is just a fact, anytime that you encourage LGBTQAI communities and the arts communities, you have economic development and wealth and more abundance. And the reason for that is, and actually I'm reading a book on this right now, but when you accept people as they are, they're able to flourish. And rather than trying to say, you need to fit into this box.
Yes.
And, unfortunately, Greensboro had an idea of what it should be. And I think that they kept doing a lot of shoulds instead of creating and leaning into their people. They're like, oh, well, we need a greenway. Greenways are in now. And the greenway's all over the place. You can't even travel on it, and they're like, oh, we need an arts district. Winston has an arts district. That's why it's doing well. And they're like, put the arts district in the most expensive part of town. Starving artists that are creating can't afford the most expensive part of town.
They can't even afford art supplies sometimes. That's how serious it is. I think there's two things the LGBTQ community has that a lot of people need to take out a page out of the book. And that's organization and, damn, I forgot the other one I was about to say. No, organization and, because I was just having this conversation the other day with somebody. Organization is a big thing, but it's fuck. I'm gonna call my boy Gerald and we're gonna talk about this. But there's a lot, but like the way they're fucking organized, very organized. And the thing you said that, what did you say? Finances come from it.
Your economic development because
economic development.
You thrive.
Yes, you really do, and I think people need to take a page out of that book. And I think right now, people need to understand something, right? And everybody has their own opinion on shit. You can't be all about your race and all about your community, but hate LGBTQ. You can't be all about LGBTQ and the opposite. You can't. At a certain point, we all gonna have to stop fucking fighting. We're gonna have to because it's hurting us. Right. Especially coming off of the last 4 years of life. I mean, damn, the last 4 years of life was like having like a dramatic family, kind of like how ours was growing up and shit like that. So, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal. We all pay taxes and we've all been fucked up before. So at a certain point, can we all just like stop the fighting and shit like that? But I have a high level of respect for the LGBTQ community. They're organized as shit, like very fucking organized. And you have people in the LGBTQ community from different races. So it's not about race. You know what I'm saying? It's about a lifestyle. So at the end of the day, stop hating the lifestyle and take a page from their book. You know what I mean? And I don't care who doesn't like what I have to say about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a straight man saying that shit. So at the end of the day, it's like, to me, it's all fuckery. When everybody's down in this and down in that. And people from bigger areas, people from smaller areas, there is a median that we need to reach at a certain point. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's my opinion.
I think realistically, I'm about to say something big and bold. Religion really crushes that because people use it as a scapegoat. And, rather than just saying, I heard for the first time in my life, I heard, and I'm not a Christian, I'm just going to be honest about it, that I heard Christianity described as someone who has an excess of love pouring over their acceptance and love into other people's lives. And I believe that specific person operates that way and everything else. Do I believe that's the average bearer of Christianity? No, I think most, and I've been in plenty of churches. I believe that, a lot of it is about what you don't do. And then you suddenly have this safe community. And I mean, I watch a lot of murder shows, and the most dangerous place you can be is in a love triangle in the South, just so we're all clear. And that happens a lot in churches. There's a lot of things that happen in churches that unfortunately condemn. My lovely daughter, who is gay, you know, she was experimenting with the way she looked, if she wanted to. So she cut off all her hair one year. She was 12 years old. And, you know, she had recently, decided that she was going to be, I think she was exploring bisexual, pansexual, that sort of thing. And as she worked through those, you know, names of whatever she wants to call herself today. But she cut all her hair off, and she went over to a sleepover, and someone's stepmom gave me a call and told me she was never welcome back there because she was going to turn her stepdaughter gay.
Wow.
And, you know, that was a pretty eye-opening experience to be a parent and not rip her throat out. But, you know, I just, what is hurting a small child ever going to do when they're trying to figure out who they are?
You know, I feel like this, like, the concept of Christianity, I think, is a beautiful thing, but I think the people that govern it are ugly. They're very ugly. I've seen people curse in church. I've seen people beat the shit out of their kids in church. I've seen church members fornicate out of wedlock, cheat on their wives, cheat on their husbands. I've seen church members sell drugs, all kind of shit. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, there's levels to the litness, right? You kind of up there. Like, stop the bullshit. I think a lot of church people too forget what their life was like before they got saved. A lot of them do that. A lot of them, they'll put on this, I'm Jesus Christ, this down the throat. And I'm not talking about Jesus Christ. I respect the Lord, but you was doing some shit before you got dipped in the water. So stop acting like you was. And that's my issue with them. I feel like a lot of them, I could say maybe a handful of church people I've met in life have actually verbally said to me, I was doing this before I was in church. The rest of them just act like they note was all squeaky clean before that. And that's some bullshit. I know you wasn't. And you know this, okay, so you have different branches. Like, you have like regular church people, you have like the Jehovah's Witnesses and things like that. And I've had experiences with Jehovah's Witnesses, and some of them are like the dirtiest people I've ever met. And not to down them, but I didn't know a lot about Jehovah's Witnesses. I actually dated a Jehovah's Witness, and I was in a relationship with one, which I will never do again. Never will do it again. So they have a thing where I don't know about the men, I'm pretty sure the men don't have to do this, which is bullshit. The women, if you're a Jehovah's Witness woman and you sleep with a man right now outside of marriage, up to a certain amount of times, you're going to have to sit in a room full of elders, the men, and tell them in detail what you did. I think that's like the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. So after conversing with someone about it, I said, you was basically in there letting them get their rocks off, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think that at a certain point, I don't want to say they need to like rewrite whatever their rules are, but they need to like recess this shit and come back and say, do we have to do it like that? Because I feel like a lot of people in church, they eliminate the humanity factor when it comes to a lot of shit. And any church member listening right now, I don't give a fuck, get mad if you want, but they hide behind the rules of the church, they hide behind the cross, and they just these church members still church money. I've seen all kind of shit. I remember I used to, my homeboy, he used to play drums at a church out here. So sometimes I pop in and go, it's a Sunday, let me go bong, get saved by the lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Confess my stuff. You know what I mean? So I go, and me and my other homeboy, we would go, and I had a girlfriend at the time. There was a girl that went to the church that every time I would go, she would be in church trying to get at me. So one time I was at a gas station with my pops. So she's literally pulls up next to me. I'm like, oh, fuck, there go the chick from the church, right? So I'm walking in. She comes up to me with a paper and was like, listen, I think you cute. I just want to like bong every now and then. And I said, I can't do that. And I'm looking like, damn, but you go to church. Like, it threw me off. Church girls be the freakiest chicks you will ever meet in your life. And I hate to say that. Like, no offense to nobody listening. And I don't mean to sound chauvinistic, but I like to keep it real. I've met church girls that will get it in more than regular girls. You know what I mean? And I've never understood that. I think it's because they were sheltered maybe. And they were taught this all kind of stuff. And they're like, damn, that shit sounds exciting. Because, as a parent, me as a parent, right? I try not to shelter them so much. I try to give them leeway to fuck up and see what's bad for them. So I feel like a lot of girls that were like raised in those hardcore church families were told, stop, you can't do that. But then telling a child not to do that is going to make them want to do that.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's something to that. I had a couple close friends who went a little wild. But I think also, it's just the idea that no matter what this, and again, I'm not religious, so this mermaid unicorn has decided that it's okay for me to do everything as long as I confess it. Whereas like someone like me who lives by strict moral compasses, I don't think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe that my inappropriate actions are okay no matter what. And so I have to do the right thing the first time.
Yeah.
And I don't have a back end excuse of, well, Jesus forgives me no matter what and loves me no matter what. I don't have that. I mean, everything in my life is pretty conditional. And, not that I think that it's a much harder way of living, but I find often that my choices are more moral, and when you come down to it. And, that's been an evolution as well. I will say that happened since I quit drinking, but but that's a whole different story.
Now, how long have you been not drinking? How long has that been done?
It's been about 2 years.
Really?
So yeah, and so that's been
so like nothing, like no wine, no nothing.
Nothing.
Wow,
No, not like and I honestly it was interesting. When I set out to do it, I was like, I'm gonna take a year off, right? Like because I had done like a month here and there. I think a lot of people do that where they're like, oh, like it's time to take a break or whatever. And I'd done that and I was like, God, like, I don't know that, like, I always kind of found, not that I was like a drunk or anything else, but I always found that, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or like, oh, like, I wonder if I got a little bit weird, or like, did I flirt with that strange dude, whatever, like, and whatever those weird things are. But I don't have any of that second guessing now.
Yeah,
I will say
that's good.
It changes who you are. It changes the friends you're capable of having. Yes. I mean, even some of my closest friends are no longer my closest friends, and they just faded away. Yeah. It was just like,
it shows you like that was like the common denominator or whatever y'all had in common, like the alcohol aspect. But what takes the edge off now?
Lots of Delta 8. So, definitely some hemp products, things like that. But I mean, I have to live a very specific way. Yes. So I have to exercise, or I get all what I like to call it squirrely, where you get all
just don't grow a tail on this. Don't grow a tail and shit. Like, don't do that. Don't.
So I have to exercise. I have to. I have a pretty strict routine where I'll watch a TED talk. I write a thank you note. And I make sure that I do those things to try to touch my mind, body, spirit type thing. Yeah. Or what I equate to a spirit. And just I keep it straight that way. But it's a lot more navigating for sure.
Well, I definitely feel you on that. Like I've done like a whole lifestyle change, and over like the course of short-term time, I went from 246 to 217 and stuff like that, which is my goal originally was 225. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just keep on going. But like, so I said on the show a while back on like the lifestyle of it, I try to do one thing a day that makes me happy because life is stressful. Have been a small business owner, podcaster, artist, still working, being a parent, shit, it gets stressful. Like you just want to like, I don't have any hair in bowl, but you want to rip your hair out. I might grow this shit in bong and pull it out. So I have to do these things to keep me going. So when I was younger, I used to take judo, and we had like a beginning exercise where you would sit on your knees, sit up straight back, and you would just be quiet, kind of like a meditation type of thing. I actually just started doing that again a couple weeks ago, and I feel like it's done wonders for me.
I struggle so hard with meditation, and it's something that like, and I hate being this kind of person right now, but it's just the truth. I hate being the kind of person that says I want to do something and doesn't do it, but I struggle with meditation. And I think it's, I'm someone who's lived through a lot of traumas and has had a lot of and I have a lot of physical trauma. And I know that if I could get into a rhythm or some sort of routine with it, it would be enormously helpful. But because of those reasons, also, it's very difficult to sit still.
Yes. I get it. I totally get it.
And those, and I'm like, it's one of those pie in the sky things of like, oh, when I'm healthy enough, I'll be a kind of person that meditates. And it's like, no, you do those sort of things to become. And it's definitely something I struggle with, and it's so frustrating for me internally because I'm like, I see people do it. I respect the hell out of people that do it, and it's so good for you. And I know it, but man, getting me to do it's like pulling teeth.
But wait till you're ready. I will tell you that. So for me, right, I'm one of those people. If I think 24 hours a day. Like I'll literally whatever I'm thinking about before I go to bed, I'm thinking that shit in my dream, and I hate it because it's like, oh shit, did I really fall asleep? I know that sounds crazy, but that's a real thing. So for me, when I do it, what I've done to quiet my thoughts and to quiet everything going on around me, I'll imagine I'm looking at a white wall. And for me, looking at that white wall for about 30 seconds to a minute is when I fall into the groove of it. So that would be like my best advice to you.
Okay.
It might not work. Yours might be different, but for me, that shit always works.
Okay.
It never fails.
I mean, yeah, I'll definitely try it. And it's definitely just like the idea of like quieting my mind. It's a noisy place in there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I get it. Mine is. I hear traffic and shit in my head. But let me ask you. So, growing up in Winston-Salem, right? What was the music scene like out there? Because this is something I've always wondered. Because I would come down here to visit, and I always felt like they was not up on like the latest music. It was kind of like behind.
Oh, well, I would just, okay, first of all, that's a whole discussion on how behind Winston-Salem is. But, you know, I would say we're 20 years behind about everything. But the truth is, I'm not cool enough to answer that question. Well, there's you know, I know that there was Ziggy's and things like that, but they really, I've actually heard it's gotten worse.
Wow.
That the music scene is actually like, yeah, it's just not what they used to have. They don't have the level of like, you know, in Greensboro you have the Blind Tiger and it's like, you know, you have these wild bands. And I think that it's so monetized with certain venues now that like the people that are good and up and coming don't have a shot.
Yeah.
And Winston's kind of like that. Winston hates giving young entrepreneurs and young artists shots. It's I mean, it's one of the hardest places in the country to dig out of poverty. I don't know if you saw that. There's an article on that, but it, you know, it's time and time again, one of the, it's a place of stagnant wealth and stagnant thinking, unfortunately. And I mean, that's something that I fight hard against and something that I really try to encourage in the circles I run in. You know, I am a member of the Junior League. I am a member of these kind of organizations. And a lot of that is to sit on boards like diversity, inclusion, and to be able to re-look at the city as a whole and, you know, what does that art scene look like? You know, that art scene is paintings really on one street. And, you know, instead of, you know, cool artists or tech companies that are doing cool things. And, you know, I think that we're moving in the right direction just at the pace of a turtle. So, but I hear the music scene is rough. And I think there's a lot of closed minds.
There's definitely a lot of closed minds. Like I remember when I was in college out here, I had a homeboy that went to school in Winston-Salem. So I would drive up there like every other weekend. We hang out and party. There are a lot of talented and smart people from Winston-Salem that I've known from back then up until now, and they just never got a shot. And you know what pisses me off? Like, okay, those same venue owners, those same people that are in position to put these people where they need to be, those are the same people that are stressed shopping locally, go to the mom and pop stores, but you have a local talent you will not give a shot to, and you are the person that can change their whole life. And I got a problem with that shit because I've been in some shady areas and went like bad areas, like, oh shit, this person can sing. And I've been, when you go up Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, like the little, they had a club, a little hole in the wall club. I ain't gonna say the name of it, but we used to party there all the time. We should not fucking been in there. But shit, like it's places like that, you know. These places have what's called diamonds in the rough, and these are people that can change the world. They can innovate shit, and they do not get a shot. They don't. But these same venue owners, they don't want like a Mariah Carey status person to come in. They're not fucking coming in. They don't care about you. But you'll want that, but you will not give the next Mariah Carey a shot or the next Basquiat or anything like that. And to me, I think that's the most retarded shit ever. And I hate using that word, but it's ass backwards because when you give that talent a shot and everybody gets to see it, it brings more money, way more money. Look at the J. Cole. J. Cole was a kid from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Nobody outside of North Carolina even knew Fayetteville was a city, and shit like that. He blew up. Now everybody knows about Fayetteville, North Carolina. So it's situations like that. But I don't think that's ever going to change.
I don't know. I mean, I hope one day that I'm the kind of person that owns big buildings downtown Winston, and that's where that changes.
That would be great.
And you know, I spend a lot of time talking to entrepreneurs and people in that in the space that own those sort of venues, or even my friends that are managers of places like that. And you know, I'm thinking of one venue specifically, the main one. And it's interesting because I've approached them about work for nonprofits and, you know, things like that. And same deal. It's like, oh, well, we'll work with the big boys or we'll do this with these people. And rather than giving people a shot. And I see that even with people and their friends, like something that giantly frustrates me is, I have so many friends that are young entrepreneurs. I have so many, people that I try to like mentor or that have mentored me. And it's crazy. You'll have, one of my friends will like post something and I'll share it. And, they get like 1 or 2 shares. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, but we can, like Meredith's 15th baby picture, or whatever, but we can't, we can't share that our friends are doing stuff, that they're creating music, that they're, and giving them that support. And it's so small. It
actually hurts, as a creator, it hurts because those same people, they won't like, they won't share, they won't comment, but they'll jump in like a famous actor's comments. Oh, I love you. And they will not respond to them. Oh, yeah. And to me, I think that's the craziest shit in the world. I think I was telling my sister, I was telling one of my cousins, I know a lot of DJs, like I know DJs I personally grew up with that will not spin my fucking music. They will not play my music. I've had some of them like I grew up with, yo, I got a new record. Can I send it to you? Yeah, I'll get to it. Fuck you too then. At the end of the day, it's like, damn, but yo, I see you jump on such and such verified page and hey, what's up, bro? That ain't your bro. You don't fucking know this dude. Right. But that's how it is. And to me, I think that's the most ass backwards thing in the world. But some of these same DJs, I've helped pass around their mixtapes. I've liked their shit. I've done personal favors for them. Mm-hmm. But you know what? And at a certain point, I was feeling a certain type of way about it. Mm-hmm. But now that I've grown and matured, it's water under the bridge. Yeah. I've had to let it go.
And I think that's where, I've gotten like a lot of pushback over the past year, especially like on Facebook, and specifically like there's a group called Fearless Winston Salem, which I can get into about. They're basically this group of bullies, and they I a lot of times will share things that I do in the community, like nonprofit work. I'll share a lot of my friends' businesses and things like that. And I sat down at a business meeting with 4 other entrepreneurs, and every single one of them had been attacked by these people, had been like, basically like this cancel culture of like, really? Of these like, frankly, like stay at home women that just like are making a bad name rather than supporting people in the community. Up, and there's, no one's saying anything, no one's doing anything. And I even reached out to them, and, there's other people, but a lot of people have been like, oh, all she does is share business stuff. She's just trying to make money. And it's like, whatever, sure, this is how I survive. And I wish that you guys could be supportive of a single mom who's worked really hard. But that's okay if you're not. And
that's so messed up.
And there's there's these groups of people that frankly have never worked that hard in their life, and they don't really understand that, there are times where, I've gone without eating to feed people's families. There are times that I have, like sacrificed huge things to be able to give back to my community through either employing people or other things. And I get attacked for it because I want to do business or because I want to support someone else. Or, one of my friends, Algernon Cash, he's awesome. And I think he's really, he's amazing, and he has some really controversial opinions in a lot of communities, and a lot of people have reached out to me over him as well and supporting him. And it's interesting because they're like, oh, all he does is try to do, all he's trying to do is get money from these restaurants. And really what he does is every day he goes to different restaurants and supports them. Every day he seeks them out, and it doesn't matter. It's they still give him backlash. Like he's trying to trick someone, and it's not tricking someone. It's just needing some support. It's asking for your community to support the little guy, and it just doesn't look in the same shape.
They should be doing that. It's got to be mind-boggling to a person such as yourself that you directly see it. You're right there seeing what he's doing, and you're seeing how hard he's working and everything he's putting into it, and also watching people giving him the backlash at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Some shit I just can't figure out. Just like the whole cyberbullying thing. I never would when cyberbullying first became a term, I didn't think it was real. I was like, this is bullshit. Because to me, the internet has an off button.
Yeah, exactly. Turn it off.
Listen, if I showed you my block list right now, you'd be like, damn, my block list is long. Everything from my phone to Instagram, I have a even Facebook, I have a very long block list because I don't play that shit. It has an off button, but for a lot of people, especially kids of this generation right now, like we can talk to them all day and let them know I block it or block the person, delete them. But there's just something there that doesn't always allow them to do that and to just blow this shit off. And it's gotten so bad. Like there are kids that have committed suicide over cyberbullying.
Oh yeah.
And shit like that. If a person is sitting here telling them, like I've literally seen people in comments go kill yourself. I'm never been a person, call the cops. But if a person does kill themselves over some cyberbullying shit, you should get charged for that.
Oh yeah.
You should get, because you know better. You know better. You knew by you saying that shit, it could have happened. You basically incited murder. You encouraged this person to kill himself. You should get some. There's got to be something that legally can be done about that. But I don't think that they're ever going to do anything because, like we said, the government, police, they all focus on the wrong shit. They're going to focus on their bike lanes and shit over that. It's wrong. I don't know what the percentages of that, but I'm pretty sure someone did a study and pulled it up. We'd see big numbers of people that were edged on to commit suicide.
Oh, absolutely. I think that there's a lot of it. I mean, my daughter, especially in like the teenage area, she's 16, and it's horrible. It's horrible. And I'm lucky that my daughter's so good, but she's come to me on multiple occasions where kids have been saying things and I've had to intervene or call parents and, not just even, also like just things as simple as self-harm, those sort of things are so prevalent now. And just how do you regulate it? But the truth is, it wasn't me, or whatever.
Of course they're going to say that. We might even have like we might have like a sheet of comments that they left and still see, and they're still going to say it wasn't them.
Oh, yeah.
I got hacked. This is what they're going to say,
I know.
which is bullshit. We saw you say it. Man up and say that you said it, just how you wanted somebody to kill themselves. But this is a very delicate era right now for kids. And a few kids are starting to listen to my show, which I didn't think was going to happen, actually. And I'm glad that they're listening because now you get to hear an adult perspective from an adult that doesn't live in your household. And to all of the kids listening, if someone is telling you to kill yourselves, block them. Don't do it. Just block them. And I was actually talking to my son about this, about how the internet has an off button. But some of these kids just don't get it. They're so edged to once a person, comes at them like that in their comments, in their DMs, they want to go back and forth with them. And I think that's doing just as much damage as the person telling them to go kill themselves. Because now you're creating this text field, you're creating this energy in whatever type of scenario with this person you don't even fucking know. You don't know this person. You know what I mean? Just like with the whole, I don't know if your daughter's an online gamer, but a lot of kids that play online games, I don't know, have you ever listened to the way they talk to each other? I
remember my little brother going at it quite a bit.
My God.
Yes.
It's crazy. My son was arguing with a dude on Fortnite, and he was like, shut up, bro. You're like 30 years old. You probably live in your mother's basement. Imagine a 13-year-old telling you that. You know what I mean? Or just imagine it. Like, oh, my God.
Burned him.
First of all, I don't play video games like that anymore, but I'm not going to be at my age playing video games with 13-year-olds from across the country. I'm not doing it.
Right.
I'm not doing it, but you got adults out here that do that shit. Imagine me, 200-something pounds, 38 years old. What's up, bro? You finished your homework? You want to play? I'm not doing that shit. I'm just not doing. I can't. I spend my time doing creative shit or relaxing or doing other things. So, man, I know people listening. I get people that jump on my DMs weekly every time the show drop and they're mad about shit.
Oh man, they're gonna be mad. That's fine.
Go play fucking Fortnite and get over it. What the fuck? Like, I don't care about that. But I just feel like we all have our opinions. But as an adult, like I was raised that you don't play with kids, and I was raised kids to stay in the child's place, but adults need to stay in their place as well. And that's something nobody talks about.
I feel I've had a lot of challenges around the subject recently, and I think a lot of it's having to, I've been dealing with like a lot of people in their early 20s right now, and I struggle to relate at this point in my life. It's if someone still has friends in college or like friends that are still in school, like, I don't know. It's a hard conversation to even, and it's weird as I get older. I felt like, when I was in my 20s, I was running businesses and, doing that. And so even the stuff that most 22-year-olds are doing, I have nothing in common with. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know, go sharpen your pencil or whatever you do. I have no idea or shoot Jaeger. I don't even know if that's cool anymore. My daughter keeps throwing out terms, and I feel like I'm, I don't know. Once you get above 30, it's just like, I don't know that I can relate to a lot of that, and I don't think it's appropriate that I relate to a lot of it. I was a young mom, and I don't know that I really want to, sit back and like. Chat about Snapchat stories or whatever.
Yeah, right. It's funny because I feel like this generation, we're like the middle children, where we're somewhat young enough to where we can relate, but we're old enough to relate to the generation before us. So we're kind of like in the middle of all of this shit. So like these kids now, when they're on Snapchat, they're on social media. First of all, that came from our era. We seen the birth of it. We come from the MySpace era and shit like that. So at the end of the day, like I remember when Facebook it looked totally different.
Oh yeah.
You had to like log into a computer first of all, and it was so different. But a lot of these kids nowadays, they just think that this is their shit, and it's really not. Like for me, the early 20-year-olds, they actually all like me. I don't know why, but they all like felt like, hey, what's up? So when I tell them like my age, they're like, no, you're not 30 a year. I'm really young and shit. So like I don't know, maybe I got like a coolness to me.
Yeah.
Or whatnot.
That's what you'd like to think.
Yeah, then they be saying weird stuff sometimes, and I just be nodding my head like, yeah, I know, but have no idea what they're talking about sometimes. It's weird to me. And then sometimes I want to go in a dad mode, and I really want to ask them, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you do that? But I can't, you know what I mean? Because I'm still the cool person. I don't want them to look at me different. Like, oh, listen, man.
You're still trying to be cool.
Show your age now, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm a mom. I'm just like, whatever. I just honestly, I get bored. I'm like, okay, listen, whatever you think you're doing right now, I was doing twice as cool stuff, and I'm really bored with this.
Yes.
And I've lived that life, and it's not in every instance, of course, but a lot of them, I'm like, I can talk to you for about 10 minutes, and I gotta go.
Yeah. You know what? When I was in my early 20s, we was in Manhattan signing distribution deals and shit. I was like in and out of studios, like doing like big things. So it's kind of like when I meet these 20-year-olds, and they was like, yeah, bro, we just drunk Henny and played Call of Duty Saturday. And I'm like, that's all you did? That's really, really all you did? There's so much more you could have done. And I really just want to sit a lot of them down and school them and let them know this is stupid. But then again, I'm the cool one, so I don't want to come off like that. But there's no way I could have in my early 20s or just sat, chilled, kicked it, had a bottle. There was so much, because there's so much more to life.
Right.
And a lot of them don't understand that. And thankfully, like I've had setbacks in life, but thankfully I've understood this whole life thing early on. Because I can't imagine me being at my age just looking like I don't know what I want to do.
Right.
That's scary to me. That's so like that was a fear of mine. Actually in my late teens, I told myself in my late teens, I'm not gonna be at a certain age where I'm just looking like, damn, yo, I'm still doing trial and error stuff. That to me is like kind of like a failure factor, because I have like a fear of failing in life, and not to down anybody, but by a certain age in life, even if to me, if you're not where you want to be, you should at least know where you want to be. Right. And there's people that still don't know, which is, I know people that they're winging it,
right? And
that's some scary shit.
I have been like a throw everything at the wall and see what sticks kind of person. In a lot of ways, but I think as long as you're figuring out, the like your who you are as a person. I mean, for me, I think it's been an evolution for sure, and like I would say like by 23, I roughly knew the shape of who I wanted to be. But by 27, I figured out how to be half that person. I mean, it took a while, and then I had to reinvent that person all over again, because I realized my approach was way off and all these things. And I think that's where, it can be an evolution. It can be, and I've, started different careers and different lives and been different kinds of people. And I like to say I've fallen in love more than the average person as well.
Oh, we all have. And then we all end up hating that person after it doesn't work out.
Well, there's a few dead bodies, but,
Word up.
But I think that's where, it's okay to reinvent yourself, but where you lose me is this like indecisive crap, like of not picking a place, not trying something, this empty vacancy that people get into where they're just like, well, I'm just going to like do this and then this and then this. And like, whatever. Like my mom loves to say, okay, it's college, marriage, children, or whatever. And like she used to say that as a mantra, which I didn't do any of that in the right order. And that's, my life is fine. You know, my life has been okay. We're trucking. But I think that there is no right answer or right way to do it, but you still got to participate. And that's, the participation.
I'm glad you said that about the participation part. A lot of people, they don't get that. Yeah. They don't. And back to what your mom said, what she said, school, what she said,
college, marriage, children.
And that does not work for everybody. No. It does not work for everybody. You have to kind of make your own blueprint at a certain point, because you could try it and fail, and then you'll be in a hole. Like you know what's crazy in life? When you get put in a hole, the way you have to dig yourself out, it's muddy as shit.
Oh yeah.
It's muddy. A lot of people who've never been there, they'll never understand that. They won't. And you have to dig yourself out. You might have to dig yourself out financially, emotionally, mentally. How do you do that all at one time?
Right.
It takes a very high level of strength to get there and still smile every day and function.
Yeah.
And a lot of, shouts out to the people who've never had to do that. I don't like y'all because I've had to do it. But, you never know. You might have to do it 10 years from now. But at least you know how to do it if you've done it before. And I was talking to one of my boys. He listens to the show every week. And we were just talking about this. And he said, whenever you find yourself in this hole, you have to backtrack and look at what got you in there before that. And the few times I've been in there, I didn't do that. I was like, damn, how am I going to get out? I didn't backtrack and say, well, what got me in here? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like one of those things when, say if you were in school and, some people were taught, if you're taking a test and you have it's multiple choice, read the answers first. Kind of like the opposite of that shit. And that was some of the best advice I could ever get.
Right.
So I said, okay, God forbid I'm ever like fucked up again in life. I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at what got me in there, and maybe that'll get me out faster and whatnot. So he really dropped some gems on me. When it came to that, but life in general, I think life is like it's kind of like a bad joke sometimes when it comes to a few things or whatever. So depending on what you're doing, depending on where you're at, that can kind of shape where you're gonna go. But then life is gonna say, I don't like you today, and it's gonna kick the shit out of you, and then you back on your ass, and it's like, damn, now I gotta get out of this hole or whatever. But everybody's different. You seem to be a very headstrong person, and I think that is great that your daughter has that role model. And I think more girls. Girl, I don't care if the girl is black, white, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. Right now, you go as a parent, none of us want our kids, our daughters online twerking, listening to Cardi B and shit like that. We don't want that. That's a huge fear of mine. My daughter listens to pop music. Thank God. Thank baby Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My daughter's into like anime and shit. So anytime she wants some shit off Amazon or whatever, I buy that. You don't got to ask twice. I'll get it. As long as you ain't doing all this shit, I am so cool with that. So to have like young girls following this way and not going with the trend of society, I think that's like the biggest blessing I've ever received in life.
I have I like to tell people, I'm like, my daughter just doesn't ask for much, and maybe she's an only child, so maybe it's some only child stuff as well. But I mean, if I can, I just do. And I mean, she doesn't. She gets good grades. She does what she's supposed to.
That's great.
And that's where whatever a 15-year-old mother can raise a successful child, and that's where I think that she's doing really well, and but I have that too in me. I'm like, oh, she wants something, I've got to get it, because she doesn't ask for much. She doesn't want much, and and she's so good that I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I see her friend. One of her friends was on PCP at one point. God. Yes, I mean, like not now, but I heard about this. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know about you being friends with her. She's like, she's not doing it anymore, but she had to go to recovery and all this stuff. God. And I mean, she's a junior in high school.
That's kind of, okay, the only juniors in high school I knew was smoking weed, but most of them was smoking weed. Like PCP is like a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta act, you gotta act, who the fuck introduced this child to PCP?
Oh yeah.
Because it's not like she just woke up one day and said, I'm gonna skip weed, I'm gonna do this.
Right.
There's no way.
No.
There's no way. There's no way. And I think the adults who do shit like that never get the blame put on them that they should. They never get the consequences that should come with that. Because most of these kids, they didn't just wake up one day and want to do drugs. Somebody introduced them to it.
Oh yeah.
That's a conversation society ain't ready for. Yeah. In my opinion, they're not.
Well, and I think that's something. I mean, I think the internet has changed that quite a bit, like the access and awareness. Yeah. But she, I was talking to my daughter about it, and I was like, Kara, like, I don't know about these people. And,
Mhm.
And so, I limit who she's able to hang out with, of course, but
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, like, just young, having sex at
Oh, yeah.
12 and
Yeah.
things like that. And just all the things that you really,
Mhm.
don't want are very prevalent today.
Yeah.
And
Especially with the internet.
oh yeah,
Internet, music, it's right there for them. It's like a one-stop shop. So back in the day when you had to get the birds and the bees talk, now it's like, nah, let me just go on Google real quick, or let me just go on Instagram, and it's scary.
oh, I mean, and
Really scary.
I mean, my daughter's just a weenie, so she just won't do any of that sort of stuff. She's
Mhm.
like, I mean, I tried to have a conversation with her not too long ago about it, and she's like, Mom, I know all this, please stop it. Like, and she's like, I have the internet, it's fine, like, I got
Yeah,
this, like,
yeah.
don't embarrass both of us now.
I had to talk with my daughter one day, and I initiated, and we were on FaceTime, and I could tell she was just so like, damn, I don't want to have this talk because it was awkward, but we had to have it. And I
Sure.
started out like this, boys are fucking nasty. And that's how I started out. Boys are that, and and it was like a whole hour-long awkward talk. For her, it wasn't awkward. For me, I don't care. I have like no filter. But it has to be said because God forbid something transpired in life, and then she'll say, "Oh, well, my dad never had this talk with me." I don't want to be that father. You know what I mean? I try to be hands-on. I've been a father that's almost fought other parents. You know what I mean? You have to, it has to go on like that. You got, listen, sometimes shit get lit sometimes, and you just have to be ready to move with the litness. And I don't think a lot of these parents have the guts to do that.
Right.
I don't think they have like the balls to really sit and have these in-depth conversations with their kids.
Oh yeah.
And so if you don't have it, society's going to teach them. If you don't teach them, society's going to teach them.
Absolutely.
So me, I'd rather have those hard conversations and let them know about my personal experiences and things like that. So that way they can say, well, my pops did this. Let me move like that. Because I don't want them learning nothing from their peers. And to me, that's the worst thing kids can do is learn from their friends.
Oh yeah.
And learn the wrong thing about it. Because I've seen it happen. I had friends. So when I was in school out here, I went back to New York one time for like a Christmas vacation. So I had like a best friend. God rest his soul, he passed away. He moved around, right around the corner. So I'm like, I'm gonna go see one of my mans. We're gonna kick it. So I was not a big weed smoker in high school, but every now and then I would get it in. So I'm like, we're gonna go roll up. Fuck it. I go to the crib, and I didn't even get to see him. He was like in the bedroom with a girl. There was like 4 or 5 other friends of mine that was there. So I'm kicking it out, and the vibes was weird, really weird. So I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? One of them pulls out this big ass Aladdin sword looking mirror and cuts up an 8-ball. And I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to fucking leave because I don't do this. So the dude that pulled out the 8-ball, he was from Carroll Street. I ain't gonna say his name, Carroll Street. So he goes, yeah, man, as you see, man, life got hard. I was like, I fucking see it because we're like 17 years old and shit, and this is what y'all doing. Never went back.
Yeah.
Never went back. Never. But the good thing is, my homeboy before he passed away, we had a block party one day, so I slid through after the block party, and we sat in my car and we talked for like an hour, and we had a real heart-to-heart about how he changed his life and he was doing better, and I could see it. Funny shit is, a week later, I saw the dude that pulled out an 8-ball. I was at a mall in Long Island. He just looked bad. He was rocking like the same afro from like 97, and it just looked bad. So, me being me, I wanted to really sit him down and try to school him on shit, but he was too far gone.
Yeah.
And it was sad to see that. We like, imagine being 17 and your 17-year-old friends are about to snort cocaine.
Oh yeah.
This shit was disgusting.
I had an experience with actually a friend that also has passed away since then. And I remember in high school, I was about 16, 17, and he shows up at, beautiful house in Buena Vista, Winston-Salem, and he opens up some foil inside of his car and says, I have black tar heroin.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the only time I've ever seen it. And I promptly looked at him and said, my family is here. You have to go. And so he drove back to Raleigh.
Oh my God.
And he died of a heroin overdose a couple years ago.
I'm so sorry.
Well, and I mean, he had gotten clean and struggled with it his whole life, but it's how early that gets introduced does matter. Yes. And, those friends do matter. And
yes.
I was reading a book not too long ago that was explaining the idea of like parent influence versus peer influence. And the thing is, parents only affect like about 10%
really?
of their children's like shaping.
I just learned something new today.
Yeah, parents only affect about 10% of their children's shaping. So we can blame our parents all we want, but it's not their fault. But it's really the peers. And so those peers matter. He's like, I'm about to restructure all the friends groups. I see it on your face.
Listen. I'm thinking. You see me thinking, right? So many thoughts just went through my mind at like one time.
Yeah, and those peer groups, they matter. And so that's where I get like, I'm like, who are your friends? What are they doing?
Yeah,
Why are they doing that?
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So I get all crazy about the friends for sure. But
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what? Was back to the whole PCP. When we was little, right? She sat me down one day and it was random. She was like frying chicken and shit. And she was like, listen, don't ever fight nobody on PCP. It'll be like fighting 10 people. And I'm looking like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But it was bad, crazy. It's bad joke because I know the little girls on PCP and shit like that. But drugs right now it seems to be cool for some reason.
Well, that's why I told my daughter.
And
I
it's
was
scary.
like, what if that girl just loses her mind and punches you in the face like the Hulk?
Yes.
You know, like
Yes.
you don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what if she bites your ear
Yeah.
off? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the funny
what
shit
happens?
is like I think a week or two later, me and my pops was watching Cops on a Saturday night and they couldn't take him down. He's like, look, he on PCP. They're gonna need like 10 people to get him. I'm like, oh shit. She just said it. So I will probably never fight somebody in PCP. And
No,
I'm like,
I don't
"Too
think
something."
that you should.
I'll let his high come down. I'll let his high come down and then I got a 9 in the trunk, so I ain't gonna fight him. It ain't happening. I ain't spend $300 on that shit for nothing. But it was the whole PCP thing. I feel like, all right, boom. I'm a real hardcore hip hop head. I'm a hardcore hip hop lover. But I hate a lot of the artists that come out now and they trying to lure people into pill popping and all these different things and all these different lifestyles. I feel, especially in the Black community, there's so much more to life than that. Because I know people that have been off and on drugs, and you do a 10-year stretch on that shit and you binging it every day. See where you at in 10 years from now.
Oh yeah.
See where you at. You are fucked up. And for a lot of drug addicts, a lot of them wake up one day. And I was watching, some doctor was talking. He said a lot of drug addicts, they wake up one day, they've been on a binge for drugs 10, 20 years, and their mind and their body have to catch up to each other. So whereas their body might be 50 years old, they've been on drugs for 20 years, they still might be thinking like a 30-year-old, thinking they can, once they come off drugs, they feel good, they could do all of these things, and then they just crash one day.
Oh, that's
what I'm saying?
crazy. Yeah,
Scary.
I have an acquaintance who used to be a friend who has similar cocaine. He's a cocaine addict. And I obviously don't really associate with him except for when I'm trying to talk him into getting help. And it's interesting. Now that you mentioned that, he looks like a withered little old man. Like,
Crazy.
I mean, he's 31 years old. And I mean, it's crazy from his 20s to now. I didn't know. He looked at me and said, oh, wow, I didn't recognize you. I've lost 30 pounds. But I didn't recognize him. He's probably lost 70 pounds.
Oh my God.
And he just, he looks emaciated. And it's, I would see him carrying something. I'm like, oh God, is that like old man okay?
You losing 30 pounds as opposed to him being on drugs and losing 70 pounds looks totally different.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Totally fucking different.
Oh yeah.
It's scary. Like I've had family on drugs. I've had friends on drugs and associates. You know what I learned being in the business world? So from doing music, I had an independent magazine at one time. A lot of people in the business world use drugs. They're functionally on drugs. And it's the scariest shit ever.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking scary because I've been in places where you knew what they was going to the bathroom for. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, I don't want to be around this, but I got to get this deal done.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person, if I'm in a awkward situation, if I'm in a room full of people I don't want to be with, I will literally just leave.
The people that I've noticed, especially in Winston-Salem, that I know that do that sort of stuff are not actually the business people, but instead it's like their wives, the ones that stay at home and like, the I'm just gonna call them yuppies because that's what they are. The cocaine yuppies of.
I thought yuppies was on weed. I didn't know they was doing cocaine.
No. Because I mean, I remember just even in high school at my brother went to Forsyth Country Day and he really struggled with a group of kids there. And I mean, I see them running into bathrooms and all kinds of stuff. And, I remember actually one family, they would have their butler fly their plane when they would get coked up. Yeah.
Wow.
He was not qualified to do so, but so I mean, those are the kind of people that I know that kind of have that level of problem, and a lot of it has to do with women trying to stay thin.
I've heard that. Before.
A lot of it has to do with them trying to stay thin. And, I guess the easier way.
Oh man.
But I don't know. It's never been something that I've been interested in dabbling with. It scares me too much.
Oh shit, man! I imagine Jeffrey flying the Fresh Prince and shit because they all coked up.
Oh yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. First, I almost got my pilot license back in 2008. I was gonna do it because I had a group of friends they were interested in starting like a small cargo company, and they were like, okay, well, per FAA law, everybody that was a partner had to get a pilot license.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, this was what they were telling me. I didn't do the research on it. I was like, fuck it, I'm down to do it. So 2 of them already had it. I didn't do it because once you do it, the final exam, you had to do like loops and shit, and I was like, I'm not doing that shit. I don't even get on roller coasters no more. Hell no. So I didn't do it. But it's hard as